Hey, 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 it's Tia, baby. And I am back with another video. So, I was in the midst of reading over the Chris book, Selena with Love. I have it on my iPad. I have the ebook. This is like my sixth time reading, and you know how it goes when you reread, or even if you're looking at movies or TV shows over and over again, you find something new each time. And of course, I do. And I came across a part about the first introduction of meeting Yolanda. So, Yolanda was first trying to be this girl named Shelly Lars. She was another Tejano singer, and she wanted to become her in charge of her fan club. But her father, great job guy for first and foremost, he said he turned her down. He was like, nah. And it never in the book never state why her dad, Fred, um turned Yolanda down. And I wanted to know, like, did she ever ask her father, like, why did you turn Yolanda down? What made you, turn her down? But it never stated that in the book. So I thought that Suzette introduced Yolanda to Selena, but in fact it was Shelley Lawrence. Either Lawrence or Lawrence introduced Yolanda to Selena, but Suzette introduced Yolanda to Abraham. That was in fact true. So it never in the book also state that, how Selena, how she felt when she introduced her to her, how she felt when Shelly introduced her to Yolanda, if she was excited, neutral, whatever. It never stated that in the book, so we don't know. I'm assuming, intrigued, because she was, very positive about everything. But Chris did state, which me and him on the same page with this, because in the book it says that we also had no idea that Yolanda had a history of legal trouble. So I guess, yeah, because I know someone in the comment section said that maybe they didn't do background checks back then. So I did my research. This was in 90, I think this was in 91. Yeah, 91. So no, they didn't do background checks in 91. They didn't start doing background checks until 1993. Was when they started doing background checks for like criminal activity, for like guns and all of that. That's when they started to do it, like 93, 94. So, which still, if they did that then, if even once background checks started to come about, you would think that, Abraham would have done background checks, started to do background checks on all the employees just to be safe, but he still didn't do it. Or Yolanda. So it said that she had defaulted on her student loans. Now, I don't consider that legal troubles, because I default on my, who hasn't default on their student loans? I mean, or forbearance their student loan. Well, no. And let me take that back. Default, yeah, because it's like you basically say fuck paying it. They keep like coming out with like the amount, and you keep not paying it, so that can mess up your taxes. And that they can basically take everything out, take your taxes away to pay what you owe. So maybe, yeah, I've deferred my, no, I got it mixed up with defer and default. Default is like, yeah, that is illegal. Deferred, yeah, everybody defers their loans, or forbearance their loans, temporary hardship, because you may not can't afford it right now. But she just basically said, fuck, I ain't paying shit. You can continue to pay, come out with bills or a payment notice. I'm not paying it. And so That's basically what she did. And it said one of her employers, which was a dermatologist, had sued Yolanda in 1983, claiming that she had stolen money from his business. So, it didn't state in the book when they found all this out. I don't know if they found all this out after everything has happened, or in the midst of her working with them. I don't know. It never said it in the book, but like I said, even if background checks wasn't really necessary back then, you still should have done that. And because even though he's even in this book, he said, why did Abraham usually so cautious trust Yolanda? And then he said, probably because Yolanda seemed so harmless and played her cards just right. She was sweet, very soft-spoken, and extremely respectful towards Abraham. And then that's when he went on and said Suzette had introduced Yolanda to him. And he liked the idea of having someone outside the family manage the fan club, since the rest of them were so overwhelmed. And he went on about how she did great work with the fan club and stuff like that. And that she helped out Selena and Suzette to get them from point A to point B when everybody else was, busy doing whatever. And then he says, for whatever reasons, Abraham, usually so mistrustful of outsiders, welcomed Yolanda into the inner circle of people who were known and trusted by the Quintanas. So, this is when my head started ringing, because he made a point. And I've also stated that point in several videos. Why was he so trustworthy of Yolanda when he was so mistrustful of everyone else, including Chris? Chris came off pleasant in the beginning. Throughout his time with them, he was very polite. He was very caring towards Selena and everyone else. He never came off like untrustworthy, but he gave him the blues, and he was very, very nasty towards Chris and called him a cancer to the family and everything like that. But you never treated Yolanda like this, and she came off pleasant, well-spoken and everything. So I'm like, okay, so maybe because she's a woman and she was much older than them. She was like in her 30s. I thought she was in her 40s. She looked very horrible that back then. She did not look 30, in her early 30s. She looked like she was mid 40s or something like that. So she aged horrible back then and now. So I'm like assuming, well, maybe because she's a female, and that's why he gravitated towards her and said, okay, I'll let you in. But I was like, what if, and this is just hypothetically, I'm not trying to stir up any drama. I'm not trying to like make false claims or anything. I'm just thinking hypothetically. What if he had a little crush on Yolanda? What if he had a crush on Yolanda? What if he didn't want to make that booty pop? No disrespect to Marcella, because I like her. And I'm not trying to disrespect Marcella, but we all know Abraham we don't know what happened behind closed doors with them. He could have disrespected her, and I feel like he did disrespect her in a way, because he purposely left Marcella out of the business aspect. Like, he never told her anything. He rarely told her anything about what went on in the business, because I'm sure if she would have known, she would have put a stop to all of this a long time ago, and it wouldn't have got this far. But he didn't. He left her out of that. She probably don't know much about what went on in the studio, behind closed doors, and all of that, because she wasn't really around all that. She didn't have a place in all of that, and he made sure of that. So who knows? You never know. He might like what he saw in Yolanda. I wouldn't be surprised if he had a little thing for her. If he, I wouldn't even be surprised if it was something circulating around, like an old video of him having Yolanda's legs in the air, waving it like he just don't care. You never know. I'm just saying. I mean, maybe he liked to ride that pony. You never know. She is a pony. She looked like a damn pony. But we never know. I mean, he might like that. He might like to have that booty work. You never know. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. He's a man. A lot of men. You mean we all got crushes? Or we all women got crushes. We all men. All the men got crushes. So I mean, everybody has crushes. So I wouldn't be surprised if she had a crush on him. He had a crush on her. They probably had that love-hate relationship. Like they hated each other around people. Or they hate each other. They act like they hated each other. But they really was like making that booty work behind closed doors. You never know. So that's what I'm like, I was thinking like, he is usually untrustworthy to everybody else. Watch his little imaginary binoculars looking at Chris and Selena through their window, because they used to live right next door to each other. Because in the book, Chris did say that he felt like he was being watched all the time when they were in that house. And Selena was like always constantly wanting to leave. Like they wanted to move because every time they got into an argument, she was just ready. She didn't feel free in that house because they felt like they was constantly watched by him. And he probably was a little pervert, probably was like had a little telescope or whatever, looking in there, looking from his window to their window. I would not be surprised if he was looking to see if they were fucking. Like, 'cause that's just nasty. That's just nasty. But I wouldn't put it past him. He probably do. He probably have seen them pumping and sweating. And probably, I'm hoping he didn't get off on that. But if they felt like, usually when you feel like somebody watching you, usually that's what it is. And he probably was a little nasty pervert. This is like I said, I wouldn't put it past him if he was watching them doing shit that couples do. And I wouldn't put it past him if he was secretly meeting up with Yolanda, making that booty work. And that's probably why she stayed around as long as she did. And that's probably why he trusted her as quick as he did. And that's probably why he act the way he does when it came down to her death, and when it came down to just this whole thing. Like, he just so emotionless and just so nonchalant. And then the fact that he's so, like I said, I've been hearing that he's rude to fans now, but he's been rude to fans. He's very like greedy. He's very he's not like a people person. I mean, I'm not a people person. Like, I'm not very outgoing. Like, I don't just go and start conversations. Like, I have to warm up to people in order for me to feel comfortable. So I'm not like saying that, but I've heard from several people that he's been rude to them, and for no entire reason. Or he, don't want to sign autographs and stuff like that, when they only doing it because of your daughter. Like, because if it wasn't for Selena, they wouldn't pay you no fucking mind, sir. So I was just thinking like that, like, he probably was like late at night when everybody sleep or minding their business. Yolanda, where are you? I'm in San Antonio. I'm trying to do da, 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 da. I'm gonna meet with you. Let's meet up at the let's meet at a hotel where no one will see us. What time? Like, what time? Let's say it around midnight, 1 o'clock. Okay. Go on. Oh, I gotta go I gotta go get some. And if there's somebody saying, "Oh, I'll be back. I gotta go run to the office to get this or that," or I gotta run to the studio and get some paperwork, knowing damn well he going over there and riding that donkey, call Yolanda, and making that booty work. We don't know, but I wouldn't put it past him. But that's all I got. That's all I gotta say. I was just thinking like that, thinking like, I mean, You never know. He might like that little she man. You never know. You never know. You're never gonna know it. But anyway, that's all I have for you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, favorite, follow me on everything, and I will come back with another video. Peace.